Dear students, welcome to Learning Management System, uh, Reservoirs and Dams, Unit 4, Water Resource Engineering, course code is 15C52T, session 26, 5th semester, Civil Engineering. Before starting with the to session 26, we have a small recap of session 25, where we have discussed briefly the concepts based on causes of failure of earthen dams, especially structural failures. Yeah, in the cause of failures of the dam, we have discussed mainly three types of the failures. That is, one is hydraulic failures, seepage failures, and structural failures. For our syllabus, we have structural failures, which we have discussed in the session 20, which we have discussed in the session 25. That is, in briefly about the structural failures. Those structural failures which may cause the failure of the earthen dam are sliding of upstream and downstream slopes, first one, and second one is liquefaction slides, third one is damage caused by the burrowing animals, and fourth one is damage caused by the water soluble materials, and fifth one is damage caused by the earthquake, and sixth one is slope protection failure. We have also seen some two pictorial representation of the causes of failure of the earthen dams. Now in this session we will start with the explanation on gravity dams and elementary profile of a gravity dam. Now, a gravity dam is a solid masonry. It may be solid masonry or it may be a concrete structure also, with its cross section which is whose size is approximately same as the shape of the triangle. Now, this is the pictorial representation which shows you the gravity dam, where in the upstream side water is stored and the downstream side tailwater is present, and spillway gates are provided. Here the spillway gates are provided. This is the reservoir, and this is the erosion protection. This is the intake tower. This is the earthen dam, which is adjacent to the gravity dam, and this is the hydroelectric power plant, which is placed in the gravity dam itself. So this is the erosion protection, and this is the downstream side, and this is the pictorial representation of the gravity dam. Now here, this is the cross section of the gravity dam, which shows the upstream side, downstream side, top, which is also called as crust, and at the bottom in the upstream side, the portion at the bottom is called as heel, and at the bottom in the downstream side, the portion is called as toe, and maximum water level is provided, normal water level is provided, a free board is provided in between maximum water level and normal water level, and the galleries are provided, and the spillway gates are provided at the top of the gravity dam, and this is the sluice way of the gravity dam. Now I will show a small pictorial representation which will show the construction of the gravity dam, how the gravity dam is constructed.
Welcome to the dam site of the Bajoli Holi Hydroelectric Project. The dam is situated across the Ravi River.
This is the portion where the water is running.
Near village Bajoli in Himachal Pradesh. Here we can see that
This is the sectional view of the gravity dam after the construction actually.
terrain and location of the dam. Let us take you through the process of constructing the dam. Before the construction begins, the river flow needs to be diverted to make excavation and construction activities possible at the dam location. This is done by diverting the river water through a diversion tunnel that bypasses the dam location. Excavation inside the diversion tunnel is carried out by drill blasting using a two-boom hydraulic drill. The excavated material is stored near either end of the tunnel. The diversion tunnel is excavated from both the upstream as well as the downstream ends, gradually progressing towards each other. Simultaneous to river diversion, excavation for dam abutment, both in soil and rock, is taken up. Excavation is carried out with a small excavator and one boom hydraulic drill. The abutment slopes are excavated in stages until the river water level is reached. The excavated material is stored on either bank for further use in coffer dam construction. The excavated slopes are stabilized by installing rock anchors and spraying shotcrete. Upstream and downstream closure dikes are constructed using the excavated material by the end-on method. Dikes divert the river flow through the diversion tunnel at upstream and prevent the downstream water going back to the dam site. Upstream and downstream coffer dams are then constructed using the material excavated from the abutment slopes and the diversion tunnel. Water between the coffer dams is pumped out to expose the river bed. Further excavation is now carried out up to the dam foundation level. Simultaneously, tower cranes, batching plant, wet belts and other construction facilities are erected at appropriate locations. Let us now understand in detail the trajectory of material movement involved in the process of building the dam structure. Dumper trucks travel via an approach road to the aggregate silos and dump the crushed aggregates in the respective silos. A conveyor carries aggregates from the silos, one size of aggregates at a time, to the rotary feeder. The rotary feeder mechanism directs the aggregates flow to the respective conveyors and subsequently to the hoppers in the wet belt system. Hereon, all the facilities are covered and insulated to avoid heat loss. The conveyors carrying aggregates of size 10 mm and sand pass through a chilled air blast, while larger aggregates pass through wet belts with chilled water spray with temperature of 2 degrees centigrade. To allow the extended time of travel for the aggregates in the wet belt, the conveyors move at a much lower speed. The temperature inside the wet belts is maintained at 4 degrees centigrade. Water from the cooled aggregates is removed by passing it through the dewatering rotating screen at the other end of the wet belt. Aggregates thus cooled are then carried via a closed conveyor and stored in pre-cooled storage bins. A strike plate mechanism installed over the conveyor directs the aggregates to fall in appropriate storage bins. Aggregates from pre-cooled storage bins are now carried via a closed conveyor to the batching plant weighing mechanism and further for mixing. At the batching plant, aggregates are mixed with cement coming from the cement silos and chilled water in the required proportions to make a concrete mix of the desired consistency. The concrete thus made is transferred into the concrete bucket placed on a truck that carries it to the dam location. The crane keeps down an empty bucket, picks up the loaded one, and delivers the concrete to the desired location of the concrete fill that is demarcated by steel shuttering. A concrete vibrator is used to ensure that the pour is even and free of air bubbles. Concrete is placed in layers of about 300 thickness along the block width in a 3-meter layer at a time so that cold joints during placement are avoided. With slabs spanning the width of the dam, the entire structure is eventually built. Temporary structures like dikes and cofferdams at upstream get submerged underwater, while the downstream structures are removed after completion of the structure. What we see now is the completed dam.
Yeah. The video played is a animated video where how the gravity dam location is selected, and before the construction what all are the arrangements which are to be made so that the gravity dam is constructed: selection of the site, diversion of the water, accumulation of the materials required for the construction of the gravity dam, and later how the water is released from the upstream side to the downstream side. This is the animated video which shows the construction of the gravity dam. Now we have a brief explanation of gravity dam. The basic profile of a gravity dam is triangular in shape. For the practical purposes, it is modified in the top. Why it is modified in the top? In the sense so that we can make the top width of the dam as a place for the access of the it can be made either for the movement of the vehicles. A road is made for the movement of the vehicles, and also to resist the shocking of the floating objects in the reservoir. The upstream and downstream base of the dam is made sloping. The downstream face of the gravity dam is usually has a uniform slope so that the water will flows uniformly. The height of the dam depends upon the nature of the foundation. If the good rocky foundation is available, the height of the dam can be increased up to 200-meter also, and above 200-meter also. But if the foundation is weak or the soil is weak where the gravity dam is construction is going on, there the height is limited to about 20 meters. Galleries or the drainage galleries are provided at the base of the dam, and the spillways are provided at the full reservoir to allow any surplus water from the upstream to flow to the downstream side of the dam. Next, advantages of gravity dam. It helps in maintenance of the gravity dam is very less because it's a concrete structure. If the foundations, if good foundations are available, this dam can be constructed to any greater heights that we have discussed in the previous slide, that it can construct at the height of about 200 meter or above also. As they can be constructed to greater height, the storage in the upstream side increases. Gravity dam is also suitable for places where more rainfall is there, since it's a concrete dam. This is a solid dam. Therefore, no leakages are there, and also it is unaffected by the atmospheric agencies. But not in case of the other dams. Spillways can be provided at the body of the dam itself, Gravity dams are preferred where sides of the valley are steep. Before the failure of the gravity dam, it shows cracks, leakages, so that you can prevent the cracks and leakages by adopting preventive measures. Disadvantages of gravity dam: since it's a concrete huge masonry wall constructed, the initial cost is more, and the construction time required for the gravity dam construction is also more, and a huge requirement of costly materials such as cement, reinforcement, and other materials which are required for the construction of the dam. Without the knowledge of the design engineer, or without seeing into the original design drawings of the gravity dam, we cannot raise the height of the dam. Yes, this is the elementary profile of a gravity dam, where it's a triangular in shape. It has a base width B and height H, and P is the specific gravity of the material. C is the uplift pressure intensity coefficient, and mu is the coefficient of the static forces. When the reservoir is empty, the uplift pressure is zero. Now, elementary profile, it is a theoretical shape of the gravity dam which has three main forces, major forces, which are its water pressure, its sulfate, and its uplift pressure. It has, since it's a triangular in shape, it has zero width at the top, and there is no freeboard for the elementary profile of a gravity dam. But if the gravity dam is subjected to only water pressure, uplift pressure, and its sulfate, then the stability uplift condition can be satisfied by applying the rectangular triangular section. The rectangular triangular section will also provide maximum possible stabilizing forces, which is against overturning of the dam without causing any tension at any point in the base of the reservoir at, at the empty condition of the dam. When the reservoir is empty, the forces acting on the dam is only its sulfate, no water pressure. Hence, the pressure acts at a distance b by 3 from the upstream face of the dam. The various causes or the various forces which are acting on the elementary profile per unit length of the dam are as follows. The W is the weight of the dam, which is given by half of P into H into S into W, which is we are acting vertically downward at B by 3 from the heel, at a distance B by 3 from the heel, where S is the specific gravity of the material, gravity of dam material, and W is the specific gravity of water. Now we have MCQs. First one, a solid masonry or a concrete structure with its cross section approximately triangular in shape is given a earthen dam, gravity dam, rockfill dam. None of this. It's a gravity dam. Since it's a solid masonry dam, it's a gravity dam. Answer is B. Second, in gravity dam, if the foundation is rocky foundation, the height may be above dash meters. Since the foundation or the soil is very hard, you can increase the height to a certain depth. That is given here are 300 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, and 150 meters. That is 200 meters. Third, in gravity dam, if the foundation is not available, the height of the dam may be limited to dash meters. Since the foundation soil is loose, we have to adapt. Given here are A 30 meter, B is 20 meters, C is 40 meters, and D is 15 meters. In the explanation, I explained that if the soil is loose, the foundation, it cannot increase the height more than 20 meters. Gravity dam transfers the load to the foundation by dash actions. As one is for A is shear action, hydraulic action, C is cantilever action, and D is all of the above. That is C cantilever action. And the fifth, in gravity dam, drainage galleries is provided at the dash of the dam. Given here are A is top, B is middle, C is base, and D is none of the above. C is correct answer is B. It's drainage gallery are provided at the base of the dam. I have shown in the my pictorial representation also. That is in the gravity dam, drainage galleries are provided at the base of the dam. The advantages of gravity dam are listed below. The first one is spillways can be provided in the body of the dam. Initial cost is more. Construction time is more for gravity dam. All of the above. Yes, spillways can be provided can be provided in the body of the dam is the correct answer. That is A. The disadvantages of the gravity dam are listed below. Choose the correct one. A is correct. Construction time is more for gravity dam. B section can be made thinner to economize the cost. Maintenance of gravity dam is less. These all of the above. Correct answer is A. Construction time is more for gravity dam. The downstream face of the gravity dam usually has a dash slope. Given a gradient slope, steep slope, C is uniform slope, and D is all of the above, which is C, it is uniform slope. The elementary profile of a gravity dam. In the elementary profile of a gravity dam, the water pressure is calculated by the following formula. Choose the correct one. Given are W is equal to half of B into H into S into W, and P is equal to half of P, W into H square. U is equal to half of B half into B into C WH. This none of the above. Answer is A. I have shown in my formula. Discussed this formula while explaining the elementary profile of the gravity dam also. That is our correct answer is A. That is W is equal to half into B into H into S into W. Thank you.